We are live. Hey guys and girls, how you going? This is Liam Zollo here. I started this podcast because I wanted to share with you guys pretty much how to become $1 million fitness entrepreneur. And the reason why I feel as though this is an important topic, it's not so much about making $1 million. That's not what it's about. It's not what it's about, if that makes sense. It's not what it's about. It's more about seeing how you can become or have that feeling of becoming $1 million fitness entrepreneur, like feeling like $1 million. Does that make sense? So $1 million doesn't necessarily have to mean $1 million. Like what Kayla Itsanis, I think it's Itsanis. She's probably one of the most famous bikini body transformation specialists out there. She turned over $30 million, and she says in her bikini challenge that, what did she say? She says, to have a bikini body, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to feel like a success story. You can feel like it, actually feel like $1 million. That's why I want to share with you this podcast, and a bit of background about me. Why am I on here? Why do I have the opportunity to speak to you guys about making $1 million? Mainly because I've been in the fitness industry for 11 years now. I'm currently the personal training manager at Fitness First Market Street, which is in the Sydney City CBD, and I've really taken ownership in terms of being an entrepreneur in some ways. I've made a lot of failures in other ways, and why I'm here is to see if we can go on a journey together, to see if we can make that feeling of becoming a $1 million fitness entrepreneur. So in terms of having $1 million in my bank account, I'm gonna be honest with that, I don't have $1 million in my bank account, but what I do have is a lot of skills, and in terms of having fitness training skills, starting up fitness studios, running my own fitness magazine. So this episode is just mainly to introduce you guys to the concept of the $1 million entrepreneur. You don't have to have $1 million in your bank account to feel like a fitness entrepreneur. I want to share with you guys a couple of my stories, and this is the feeling that I get, and I mentor people in Fitness First now as a business mentor to help guide them see success in their businesses. And that's what I'm really passionate about doing. Just guide them to see how they're going. Like some guys, and girls are on 30 training sessions a week in Fitness First. Some people are on 70 sessions a week. And what I love about that is they're both seen as success stories. You don't have to have the 70 sessions a week to feel like a concept of the $1 million fitness entrepreneur. So in these podcasts, we're going to go through, how you can make money through online space, how you can make money through, working in gym like Fitness First or a big chain, how you can build and grow a business, how you can actually buy a franchise if you want to buy a franchise model with Fitness First or with another company as well. How can you go through that process? But just a brief history about me. I've been in the industry 11 years, okay? And throughout that 11 years, I started off as a personal trainer in Fitness First 11 years ago. So I'm not branding Fitness First in this podcast, guys, by the way. This is just coming up within the story as I'm talking. So I started 11 years ago, and I was 18 years old in Fitness First. I was the youngest one, and I left there after about a year and a half. I was sick of it. I was sick of Fitness First because I thought it's not ideal for me to be working in this space to grow. 45 trainers there, and I thought that I was left on my own. But what I realised is that back then people, but anyway, that's off topic. After I left Fitness First, I went to start up a couple of studios. I was with a couple of studio startups with a couple of other personal trainers, and I was successful. I got out of there. I decided to go for a 6-month trip to Europe, and start my business. But before that, what was actually quite interesting, maybe about a year before that, I decided to start a fitness magazine. This is before Google and blogs were really popular back then. I mean, they were starting to get popular, but I decided to do my own fitness thing. And I handed out these magazines. It was a 50-page document once a month. And I handed out these magazines into cafes, beauty salons, health stores, and anywhere where I thought I could get good readership. And I've started publishing my first one, and I had no clue how to run a magazine, guys. I just saw someone else was doing a free magazine, not in the fitness space, and I thought that I could just, well, you know what, we could do something with fitness here. So I had a couple of meetings with these guys to start up with it, and they said, get online, don't even bother doing the printout stuff. And I go, what do you know? And I decided to do my printout stuff, print out magazines, and it ended up being a 50-page document. But that cost me about $6,000 per month to put that magazine together. So how did I make money as a fitness entrepreneur? Well, I made money through advertising space. So I had like a 40-page document, and what I thought about is if I got a good celebrity on the front of the cover with a good story, then everything inside that magazine, would be great for advertising. So what I decided to do was get good guests on there first. Like we had the Biggest Loser trainers, Shannon and Michelle on one of our front covers, which was quite exciting. So when I got those guys in the front cover, me and another guy called Ryan Whippet Clark started this magazine. It's called Gateway to Health. Whippet's from Bondi Rescue. And what we decided to do is we got these guys on, and then we decided to go on to companies to get us to advertise. We said to them, well, if we've got Shannon and Michelle, people are going to be reading this magazine, how about you donate $500 for a full page spread in our magazine, and then we can, and then you can get out there to a wider audience. So it was actually quite a success, to be honest. Like we did 4 issues, I think, and we raised about $25,000 in what's that, 4 or 5 months, $25,000, and which was awesome. The thing was, it was costing us money. It cost us about that much money to put it together. But I was young and naive, and we stopped. We just stopped doing it. We stopped doing the hard work. We didn't want to do it as much anymore. And that's when I went overseas, and I'm kicking myself because we thought, we could have just kept that going. And that's one of the stories, that's a fitness entrepreneur style. Like, I mean, that has nothing to do with personal training. I was a personal trainer. I just wanted to get out there to a wider audience, and we got Shannon and Michelle, we got Stephanie Rice, a famous swimmer in Australia, to be on board in our issues. And then we got local collaborators to come in and talk about health and fitness and write articles for us. And people were just reading it while they were getting their hair done, and it was quite popular. A lot of spelling mistakes in there, and I'm just looking back on the magazine now going, oh my God, what was I thinking? Why didn't I just get an editor? But the thing is, what I did back then is I took the risk. I took the risk on having a go. I didn't care what people thought about spelling errors, pictures in the wrong place. It was a bit raunchy. We had sort of nude shots, but you couldn't see the nude shots in there as well. So we did what we wanted in our way. So and the reason why I feel like it fell down was purely because I was young, and advertisement, getting stories and stuff like that wasn't what I was interested in doing. So after that, I went overseas for 6 months. And when I went overseas, I lost my business, and I came back after 6 months of just traveling, partying, drinking. Got to play for the Italian national rugby league team, which is awesome. After that, I get 60 group fitness clients in 8 months, and I just did whatever I wanted to do, or not whatever I wanted to do, did whatever it took to try and get those 60 group fitness clients. And I was sitting about the 5 months in mark, and I was still sitting on about 20 clients, I think, direct debited, so that's not too bad. And after about 8 months, I got that. After the 8 months, I got the 80 group fitness clients, which was awesome. So my target was 60, and I ended up getting 80. And 2 months before that goal, I was still only on 20. How did I do that? I landed a contract with the British American Tobacco Company, who ended up training 50 of their group fitness clients, which was an awesome experience. So how did I do these things? That's the message. The two questions. So I think one is, why did I go from magazine to outdoor group fitness, to indoor group fitness, personal training studios, to do you see the common theme? Why did I do that? And why I did it is because I always got with the times and went with the fads and felt as though, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? Don't get complacent. For myself, I just got bored and complacent, just turning over fitness sessions all the time. So I always wanted to look for the next little edgy thing that no one else was doing. So that's the first question. Why was I going from different angles of the fitness industry, from magazine to group fitness to ones to over those 4 or 5 year period? And that was mainly because I wanted to get with the times and do something different, a life-changing experience. Sorry guys. So after that, so how did I do it? So how did I do the outdoor group fitness scenario? Like I talked about the magazine, how did I do it? It was pretty simple. Just got a graphic designer together, told him to design the magazine, got the articles from local collaborators that I knew, that I said, you're going to be part of history. You're going to be part of history here, because it's the first ever free fitness magazine that's going to be distributed out to every home in the eastern suburbs. So people want to jump on board, and then we had got good people on our front cover, so that translated into advertising money. So that's how I did the magazine. So from the group fitness side of things, how did I get 80 group fitness in 8 months? Well, I started with no one, obviously. When I came back from Europe, I started with 0 clients. So how the hell am I going to get 80 group fitness clients, or 60 group fitness clients was the goal? So how am I going to do it? Well, I thought, what do I need to step into life? These big chains that were outdoor group fitness right next to me. I thought about it, and all I decided to do was just get, I wanted to first of all see how many people I wanted in my group, and I wanted 20 people in my group every day. So I wanted to do it like a 5-day period. So every day I'm down there at 6 a.m. So I thought about it, and I go, I want 20 people every session. That's 20 people a day. That's 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. That's 100 people a week. But countering that people would come 3 times a week, that's about 60 clients that I'd probably need. That's why I calculated it. So my first step was to get 20 people down there, paid and or unpaid. So I decided to get my mum, friends and family, everyone to come down and make sure, give them free training. And then all I did was say, listen, it's free training for you guys. All I expect in return is to show up and have a great time, and then tell everyone about me. That's it. That's all I did, and that actually worked. And 20 people down there on a daily basis. People were having a great time. We had music down there. We just did whatever it took, so when people walked past us, they just wanted to be a part of us. And within that period of time, people started to, I got an A-frame sign with some flyers and put flyers in there, and then had music next to me and had a banner, and people just walk past and go, "Wow, I want to be part of that group." So that's how I got a lot of people just coming in. And then the people who were training for free tended to filter out because they moved away, or they didn't want to train anymore because they were training for free, and that was fine. So it actually helped me because people who were coming in were paying. So it was like out with the old, in with the new, and in some ways I was doing the people with the group fitness training for free a favour, and they were doing me a favour as well. So, and in that 8-month period, I was building a website as well, which wasn't optimised at all, but it was optimised for Marupa Group outdoor group fitness training, and that's how I landed the British American Tobacco contract. So that's how I went into that period. So it can be quite simple once you figure out a goal, what you want to work towards. So you see, the fitness industry is so big at the moment. I think what's the biggest thing is right now is fitness influencers like social media, but that's not really as much fitness as it is about being a fitness model, and an ambassador. So that's the popular thing at the moment. So if you want to jump on board that, we'll talk about it in future podcasts. But for today, it's just the background of me and the evolution of myself to get into position now to sit in front of you guys and talk about talk about how you can be $1 million fitness entrepreneur. So after when I was I still loved doing group fitness, right? Really enjoyed the process of doing group fitness, and I wanted to start going into events. I saw something in events, and so my transition was obviously from fitness first to indoor personal training studios to running my own fitness magazine to then doing outdoor group fitness, always tailored to fitness, right? Sorry, I've got something in my teeth. I'm looking like I'm on camera right now, guys, and I'm keep doing this thing. A little bit of something in my teeth. So anyway, so then I went into the evolution of how I can do events. And when I decided to do events, I was thinking about how can I do an event? How can I bring people together with my skills? I'm sort of sick of training 20 people because I want something more. Not on a regular basis, just want to achieve something more. So I decided to put on a Guinness World Record attempt. And I was thinking about how I just thought about it, I want to do a Guinness World Record, but I don't know how to do it, what to do, what one to do. So I thought about doing, putting the most amount of t-shirts on my back in a minute's time. All these stupid ones popped up, and that's going to happen. All these stupid ideas might pop up in your head, and that's the message that I'm trying to get to you, to this concept of doing something that's pushing past your boundaries that you've never done before as a fitness entrepreneur. And then out of nowhere, it hit me. I do outdoor or outdoor or indoor, it doesn't matter, an event, a fitness event in boxing. So I wanted to do it. I thought about it. I was like, I'm going to do this. And it came to a time where I did it. I caught a young girl, doing something self-harm to herself, and I thought she was, going to commit suicide. And I'm like, that hit me. And I had this festering idea of doing an event of a boxing record for about 6 months to a year, with the thoughts and going through the process of wanting to do a Guinness World Record. And it snapped after this event that happened with this young girl. I decided to put on an event for her and suicide prevention and mental health. So I decided to put on the biggest Guinness World Record attempt for the biggest boxing class in the world for suicide prevention. It was like a punch suicide in the face. And we ended up doing it. We ended up getting 454 people together in a Guinness World Record for the most amount of people participating in a boxing class. And that was just a life-changing event. So I was just so fortunate enough to do that. Next year we did another one. We did the most amount of people doing burpees for 2 minutes for the Sydney Children's Hospital. I really enjoyed doing fitness events. So, and that's the message. You don't have to have $1 million. That's not the message here. In this later podcast, and these episodes, what we're going to do is we're going to talk to people who are doing it differently in the fitness industry and see how you can tap into a market. And it first comes into play, and this is what I want you guys to leave on. What do you want? Visualization. I know it's a popular thing right now. It's mindfulness and visualization. But seriously, what the hell do you guys want? Do you want to be sitting on a beach in Greece while talking over a Skype conversation with a client and earning $100 for that client consultation, $200, $500? What does the money amount that will take for you to feel like $1 million? And that's the concept we're going to go through. Because my dream is exactly what I'm doing now, sitting in front of you guys right now, having a conversation with my microphone, with my little bit of a messy hair that I've got going on here, and talking to you guys about how you can feel like $1 million as a fitness entrepreneur. is it buying suits just to make you feel like $1 million? Is it entering into a business that no one's ever done before? Whatever it is, well, let's go through this process together. So in later episodes, we're going to talk about online, how you can build money online through various businesses like ClickBank and using MailChimp to build your list and stuff like that. So just pretty much getting the feedback from what you guys want to see in here, and I'll be interviewing great people that we're gonna collaborate with in terms of seeing how we can be a fitness entrepreneur. So and feel like $1 million. If you want to start a magazine, then go for it. I think it's still best time ever to go through that process. If you want to start an online fitness podcast, I think we might do a podcast on doing a podcast around fitness entrepreneur. So there's untapped resources right now, and it's better than ever for creativity. And I just stress that you just got to take action and find out what we want the most to make you feel like that $1 million fitness entrepreneur. And then we'll work on seeing how we can bring that together. So thank you so much for this opportunity to get in front of you guys, and